Afternoon and the One Tribe podcast. Got some special guests on this afternoon. So what we're going to do, we're going to throw it to a short break and then come and meet our guests for this Thursday afternoon. The One Tribe podcast. Be back. Welcome back, guys. The One Tribe podcast, making your Thursday afternoons interesting with our chat. So we've got some special guests on board this afternoon. In the middle, Mr. Franky Spencer.
Oi, cheers, Nigel.
Franky Spencer. And to the left of him is Mr. Fine Fit People himself, Grant Ghost.
Sure, brother.
You all know his face from this channel. So let's do a little bit of an introduction. Franky, welcome, brother.
Thank you, Nigel. Cheers.
I ran into this fella on the beach just on Monday, if anyone was following my stories, I think Monday. And I thought, you know what, today's topic, perfect person to have on and speak about what we're going to speak about today. So a bit of a light-hearted subject, but, coming from someone like yourself, mate, been here for, how long have you been here, bro?
15 years.
15 years?
And been freelancing for that 15 years.
There you go. Someone longer than us too.
I've seen many come and go. Many have come and gone.
Bro, what's going on in your life at the moment? Tell me.
I'm actually busy.
Yep.
Really, really busy. Unfortunately, as you know, the COVID-19 has just cancelled the golf games.
Right, don't even start.
What hasn't it cancelled?
Yeah, I was about to cancel my life walking out of the gym as well. I thought I contracted it with everyone fucking speaking about it. So
gutted because my team I've made a lot of momentum.
Yeah.
And off the back of a year where we had a lot of bad luck already with my fittest girl breaking her foot. So we were all like, unfinished business, let's get back to it. And they were so hungry.
Well, so what is this? The Gov Games,
yeah.
Okay, explain a bit. My followers would definitely not know what that is.
Okay, so Gov Games would be hopefully is going to be in its third year. It is all government entities are the teams for its, I don't really want to say an obstacle course race because you would have to be a very good endurance athlete for it. Imagine an obstacle course race and you take out all the running, but it's all about the obstacles, and the obstacles are the craziest, unbelievable things you've ever seen. Yeah. And there's a lot of mental and teamwork aspects as well as just being Mr. Fitness, you know. Nice, so, and last year I was very privileged to be training the Dubai Municipality ladies team, 7 girls, two Filipinas, 1 Emirati, 1 Egyptian, 1 Moroccan, 1 Hungarian, 1 Brazilian. So you don't get
mix.
Good
mix.
Great mix. We unfortunately lost our Emirati girl, so I fortunately picked up another Filipina, which are great in this event because they weigh 48 kilos. And when you're doing Ninja Warrior style stuff, that is what you need.
Nice, brother.
Yeah.
Nice.
But that's now, as I said, it's postponed. So
like everything else, it seems in the
hashtag
world, man.
bummer.
Absolutely.
Because these girls are hungry. I spend most of my weeks at my boot camp screaming at guys for not manning up. Yeah. What I hate is when it comes to the heavy squats and the girls are doing better than the guys. Yeah. So they may think I'm a bit of a bad guy by shouting at them, but I'm just helping them man up.
Mate, bro, that's why I think, like, in terms of when I first met you, like you've been here 15 years. I think I met you maybe 2 years into the scene here for myself. And that's why I think we got along so well, and we have been mates. We don't see each other often, but when we do, it's like, you know, there's no gap there lost. You were this no bullshit kind of personality, which I enjoy. I still enjoy that about you. And bro, that's what I think the industry is lacking these days. You know, I mean, like, when you say that, you know, like you shout and this, that, the other. Mate, I've seen you coach before. You tell it how it is, and it's either black or white. You know, so I like it. That's why, you know, touching on last week's podcast, it's hard finding genuine people in such a fickle industry, bro. So it's good to still have you around, brother, and still doing your thing. Mr. Ghost, what do you got going on, brother? What's
Well,
happening?
bro? Having people like you in here.
Hey, listen, you launched that video yesterday. If people are watching, have a look at the video in regards to the At Fun Fit People space and studios that we're working out of currently. Tell them a bit about that, bro.
Yeah, bro, it's been pretty awesome actually. It's like anything, you know, when you see something you're like, oh, that's just you, or, you know, must have happened just like that. But it's been a long time in the making, and finally we've been able to launch our application for Find for People, which helps people find professionals like without searching. And help professionals find clients without having to market themselves as well. So it's pretty simple like that. And then with the website just put up as well, so all courses. And except for this virus, all the events are on there as well. So, but you can find seriously every kind of event, every kind of course on the platform, and that's the kind of what people mostly do. And then obviously we supported with these podcasts, the studio, and stuff like that. So it's been also really busy in the first couple of months.
I tell you who would be benefiting from this shit now is like these, PPE, personal protective. All that stuff in terms of like cleanliness and stuff. If you've got courses going, I know there's Safe Hands UAE. I don't know anyone personally from there, but they do a lot of courses in terms of how to keep workplaces clean and all that shit. Maybe you guys, if you know anyone there, they can use this platform as well, right? So
and totally jump on board for me.
Yeah,
I don't want to plug that. I know it's about perseverance, guys.
Yeah,
but I mean, that's definitely something that people can do here, and it's been definitely. I mean. And I don't want to keep bringing this one up, but with the coronavirus spreading, a lot of people doing a lot more online. Like now, schools doing online education or e-learning. They're doing that way as well. So we've set up so we'll be able to help people do that if they want to be able to do e-learning or more conferencing kind of thing.
Beautiful, right? That's the boring stuff out of the way.
Yeah.
We've met the boys, right? So today's topic, this is why I brought the boys on today. We've all been here collectively like a long time. We're still doing our thing. It's about perseverance in the fitness industry, especially in the Dubai fitness industry, right? So, boys, I mean, I've known you boys for years, and again, we're still here doing our thing, in whatever manner it is. Franky, bro, like I know you started 15 years ago. You started on the scene basically like I did in terms of working the buildings. You still work like the circuit as well, as far as I know, right? In terms of buildings, home gyms and all that stuff?
I used to, first of all, concentrate on just downtown.
Yep.
And I built a solid base down there.
Yep.
I was living down there too.
Yeah.
So I was part of the furniture.
Yep.
Always being my bubbly character and just chatting to everyone. And that's the first thing.
Yeah.
You've got to talk.
Absolutely.
PTs don't talk enough. They think PTs think people come up to them and ask them.
Yeah,
You've
of
got
course,
to go,
exactly.
You're a salesman at the end, number one. You are a salesman. So you can be great at your bench press and you've just won Spartan, but that does not get you a good business. So that's the first thing, is understanding you're a salesman.
Yeah.
And you don't get any business unless you go out and talk to people about
definitely. Oh, absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. In terms of over the last, obviously, 15 years of you working here, the landscape's changed, obviously. A lot more commercial gyms have opened up. A lot more commercial gyms are opening the doors to freelance trainers. Yeah. The freelance training market is a problem, I guess, in this city because anybody can fucking be a trainer in this city, right? And we see it. Especially with the building gyms. We see, I haven't been in building gyms for a while now, but as I was sort of exiting that and making a home for myself in my gym, you saw that trainers were popping up left, right and centre that might have been ex-clients or maybe just look good, have a great rig, and now they're teaching people the ways of the fitness industry. So, as I said, landscape's changed. Are you still seeing that sort of demographic through that?
100%. Yep. And it annoys me as the years go on.
Absolutely.
And I let them know. When I walk in a gym and I can just tell a mile away if this guy's bluffing his case.
Yeah.
I can tell. And then he always has this nervous look when he's looking at me too. So if you listen to this now, yes, I am looking at you because I know you're bluffing your case. However, and if I don't talk to you, I know you're bluffing your case.
Yeah.
All the good, solid guys, I make a point of saying hello, but if I don't say hello to you, I know you're just bluffing your case.
Yeah. Gee, I know you've been off the industry for a while in terms of like not being an instructor and stuff like that. But as you were coming up as well and doing your group fitness instruction and whatnot, did you see that sort of caliber of people in your industry as well, or did you see that not really in like infiltrating fitness clubs?
I think it's harder when you're doing group fitness. I mean, they pull off from their own breeds, people that do the classes in that like boot camps or all that kind of thing. They see if someone in the class, you'd be a great instructor, they put them in a qualification and they put them in.
Yeah.
Some people do it differently, whatever, but I think it's harder from the group fitness point of view to do that kind of to get away with it. But I mean, there's still, when you look at the boot camps out there, there are a lot of people still just starting up their own thing or just trying to start up their own thing. I mean, I know disc jockeys out here or accountants up here that
absolutely,
bro. There's no offense to anyone, but there's mums and stuff like that out here just going, I've got my bit of time, I'm just going to start doing some yoga or start doing Pilates or start
listen, I was one of them. I started my career like that. I came in with a fitness background from back home, but never worked in a commercial gym. I've never worked in a commercial gym in Sydney, right? So I did my courses. I was an electrician before all this. Right, in Sydney.
I'll break now about afterwards.
So I did my part-time studying, got my playing footy and all that stuff was always my background, but I thought I'd never use it because I was, working in construction and that, back in Australia, that's the money, bro. That's good money. But I thought there was always a passion. Let me go and learn it the right way. If I ever use it, I'll use it, whatever. So I never worked in a commercial gym in Australia. So I didn't know the ethics and etiquette of a commercial floor until I got here. And then, as I said, I started running my own boot camps, which were like the martial arts side of boot camps. And that's why we called it Streetwise, whatnot. But one of the first guys I met was one of your best friends, Tam Khan, right? When he got over here to launch the MMA scene, he was brought over here. He was living in the Shangri-La. They put him up in the Shangri-La. And that's where I was living with the boys. So I fucking see this unit, Vin Diesel fella at the gym downstairs. And to be fair, he's very, size of him, he's intimidating when you look at him, obviously, but very quiet and not really, if you look at someone like that, you expect him to
be. He's humble.
Absolutely. So
humble.
I remember.
And when you are a real fighter, you can't.
Oh, exactly. So
the guy who walks around gobbing off, he ain't tough.
But listen, back in the day when he first got here, the fight scene was nothing. It was nil. So MMA wasn't huge, right? So I remember chatting to him a few times in the gym, and I was like, "Fuck, cool dude." And that was just chat in the gym and in the hotel. So, and then all of a sudden, this profile starts getting built through him. I'm like, "Fuck, that's that dude that was in the gym, whatnot." So, in terms of when I started my thing, there wasn't much going on. We had one of my guests, Ziggy Darwich, here last week, and he had a military-style boot camp back in the day. So that's where that boot camp element of Dubai sort of started. It was like the military, you crawl up the sand sort of shit. So when I started it, the martial arts side of it, there was no one really doing it until the major clubs like Tam's first gym and that was the proper way to do it, right? So yeah, I came through that background. I didn't really have experience in group instruction and whatnot. I just fucking went, fuck it, I'll wing it. And I turned it into what it was. But on your point, it came from people wanted to work with me, I guess, because of, like you said, my just the way I am, my personality. My personality got more people on board rather than my skill set or anything like that. So, now, I think you've got older heads on us in the industry. Where do you think personality sits in an industry that is so hard to market yourself, business, or what you do? Where do you think personality sits?
Personality, charisma is 100% the whole job. And if you're not doing well in it, I say this sensitively, then work on that.
Yeah. Jump off a bridge.
Anybody can say to anyone who's come to you for training, I want you to do 10 squats, I want you to do 10 push-ups. That is not hard to do. When that person starts falling off the wagon, you need then to step up your personality to tell them to step it up.
Yeah.
Right? And if you're a quiet person, that is not going to work, because most clients, as we know, it's not. Some of them are lazy and they lie.
Yeah.
Right. And to get past the laziness and the lying, you need to read that. And you need to be a good judge of character, because they'll all try and pull the wool over your eyes from time to time. So you having honest conversations with them, but again, then how you have that conversation is key, because you don't want to sound too cocky, but you don't want them to say yeah, and then it's done, and then it doesn't happen. So you have to monitor that.
Yeah.
But always, again, being honest with yourself, and then asking them to be honest with yourselves is everything.
Yeah.
And that's personality.
Absolutely. I agree with that. I think personality is everything. Now learning, over the 13 years of my career here, I started as a young dude who wanted to sort of take on and take over an industry that you're never going to be able to do. I guess that's more ego driven. And you know, there's going to be points of your career where you're hot, and then there's going to be points of your career that you're not. The points of my career where I was, and everyone wanted to work or do the boot camps, you think like that went to my ego massively, because like I thought, fuck, you know, I'm the man. But then obviously they go away very fast too. You know, money comes, money goes in this city. We know that. So, you know, being 35 now, I look back and go, personality is everything. I know some fucking awesome trainers in this industry. Skill set, you know, not all that, but they've got their basics that they do really well, and their personality keeps driving clients through or their way. You know what I mean? So I think, what about you, bro? What do you reckon?
Well, I was just thinking, actually, a thought. What do you think? Let's think about the whole. Yeah, it is. There's people with personality coming out, but there's also a lot of the guys that are fucking up the industry for a lot of other people when they're not qualified or they're doing wrong things and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree. It's key, but then, you know, for yourself, I mean, that's how you started, but then you got qualified and you do your shit, you got your stuff, right?
Yeah.
So the problem being here is a lot of people, they don't get qualified and just keep doing what they're doing in the back, you know, or they do it part-time.
I think they all get found out in the end, though, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like we've seen it. We've all.
That's my problem.
I think
I don't know if they do.
There's always a few slip through the net.
Yeah, it's like
Slippy, horrible, slimy people. Yes, but generally, no. If you're not on your game and you're not legit, you'll.
But we've all been here, you know, almost the same length of time. We've seen them come and go. Like you'll see these trainers or companies come in, and then literally 6 months later, they're fucking gone. You know what I mean? So like you said,
it's happening with gyms as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a fickle industry, isn't it? People jump on the bandwagon. They think it's easy. They think in 6 weeks they can train hard.
Yeah.
And then that's it. So the whole industry's tough, and the whole industry's suffering as well.
Hugely.
You see a lot of these gyms now. They've put a lot of money in the fit out, and
well, this is what, you know, today's topic, obviously, perseverance in the fitness industry. I see a lot of young trainers, female, male, and young companies starting thinking, yeah, we're going to come in and open a gym or a new fitness company, or people quitting their corporate job because they think, right, fitness is my passion and I want to do it as a career. Now, passion and career are two different things. I tell you right now. And I'm like, for me, I've had moments over the last 13 years here thinking, fuck, if someone offered me a stable 20 grand a month, every month, I'm there. I don't go, I'll go and fucking push buttons all day. Yeah. But then I think to myself, it takes me about 3 weeks to go, no, I wouldn't leave this job for all it's worth. But it's fucking hard, like you just said. There are times that, like now for us, I don't know about you guys, but I'm nervous as fuck because of this fucking corona thing, and it could have a massive hit on all of us in terms of economy.
Couldn't. I think that if people stop doing, the people who are group training, who like group training, there's more chance now they just want it private.
Private, right.
Maybe not in a gym as well.
Yeah, I agree.
This is what I'm saying.
I think we should pick up. Actually, last week I picked up 3 clients.
Yeah.
But again, that might not be the variable that
it might be the case. I was thinking about this last night. It might be the case where I am going back to my old school days, going back to buildings, because my clients at the gym go, look, Nigel, we don't feel comfortable in the gym. Can you come and train us at home? So, and I'm going to have to, because that's rent.
Yeah, you talk about perseverance. That's the ones that are willing to adapt and change situations.
Correct.
The ones that are still here and still doing their stuff. I mean,
Absolutely.
all the ones that don't give a shit about someone else. Also, you know, like at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure we don't care about what someone else thinks about what we're doing. We're doing the right thing anyway.
Here's the thing, right? So I say this, and you live it daily. I do. Me, not so much, because I am on a gym floor, but you're on the gym floor too. Is that, are these trainers who are hotshots in gyms able to adapt, or think they're hotshots, able to adapt in a environment where the gym's not the best? There are, like, say, remember Southridge. Southridge is an area in downtown down here. The fucking gym is rammed with all these kinds of trainers that we were talking about, that overnight trainers. Can somebody like these guys in gyms who are meant to be the stars go on and work the same way on a gym floor in a building? Or I don't personally think they can.
I don't think they want to either. I don't think they would.
Yeah, it's not just them as well. Because they don't have the skill set, I'm sure the training after a couple of weeks of that, when they're not delivering good stuff, then the client's just going to get bored and leave them anyway. So it all comes back round in the end, right?
So I put this on my IGTV 2 days ago in regards to trainers out here in Dubai not having a broad spectrum of programming. Now, you do it very well. I'm sure you've done it very well because of your background in terms of class instruction. I see young guys now, okay, whatever preference of training you do is your thing. Bodybuilding, CrossFit, whatever. But training your client in the exact same way and style that you enjoy doesn't work all the time because of different goals and whatnot, right? Now, like you touched on it before we went live, Frankie, is that these guys are losing members and work because of their boring training styles after 3 to 6 weeks with the female trying to push tension and you know, forced reps and all this stuff. They're a mum. They're 35, 40 years old. They want to have a sweat and then go and meet up with the Jamira Janes and have a coffee up at Lime Tree Cafe. Now, she has no fucking interest in you touching her quad and going, squeeze, squeeze. Like, that's what we're seeing on gym floors now. Yeah. There will be people that want it, but then your average, I want to get fit and toned response will be gone after 4 weeks of that shit because they're like, this is boring. Do you agree?
Yep.
So what can these like young trainers, and this is what, like half of these subjects I pick, we want to help because like I don't want to be, to be honest, like I want to be one of the guys in the industry like you that we're able to help these younger trainers, like, you know, by talking like this.
What Frank was saying before about you're a salesman at the end of the day, and a lot of people can't sell themselves for shit, to be honest. Yeah. But if you don't have to necessarily sell yourself as like a salesman, like it's about also just more connecting with people that are like-minded or are on the same lines. Like the ones that have survived, the ones that, you know, if you're in the MMA or in whatever you're in, group fitness or strength training or stuff like that, if that's, and you have to, I think you got to do that these days. You have to go in a niche or you have to go specific if you want to survive better. Yeah. Be good at that. Yeah. And have the network around that supports that, whether it be your physios Absolutely. Or your gyms or whoever is like that, you know, get a strength conditioning coach that helps the MMA fighter or first or something else like that, or even mobility and masseuses and stuff like that. And those guys, that's why how you survive. And then that's how I think myself and other people have survived in this industry Absolutely. By adapting or having there's networks around them that they can call upon. And
community.
Yeah, totally.
And this man next to me has done it fucking class with the boot camps that you run down at the gym. Yeah. Now you get up to 50 fucking people
55
in those classes,
nights
man.
a week now. It's constantly 50.
Well,
actually the virus has calmed it down a bit. But up until last week, 50 people 5 nights a week.
Is it like gone down to 45, but then those other 5 become personal training with you? Or
yeah. The chlamydia that he's spreading's fucking stopped him in half, right? So listen, going on to that next topic, you've built this great thing. I see it on your stories. There's fucking tons of people that go down and do this guy's class. Why and how have you built that? Is it built through a community base?
Okay, so first of all, location is pretty good because it's in Media City, right? So I'll take that away from my me trying to claim all the limelight. But I'll tell you what, once, I won't mention 2 guys' names. They are good guys. They're both trainers. And they both tried to do just 1 hour before mine. So my class is 7:30.
Right.
2 trainers. Yeah. Amazing social media. Good lads. Yeah. Ready? They tried. They went to see the bot. They went to see Big Tam, and they said, "We want to do a boot camp."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, really?"
Yeah.
And it was next door to mine, 10 foot away. Yeah. Ready? 2 of them, half my age. Yeah. And it lasted like about 4 weeks, and even in the height of the 4 weeks, they only got like 10 or 15 people.
But I'll tell you what, I know who you're talking about.
And if these guys listen now, this is not against you. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing right, because I'm still always putting.
Because you got personality, brother. That's what it is. There's 2 fucking wet blankets.
So there was 2 guys, exactly, and even made them these special ass videos, and it looked brilliant. And I thought, ooh, I wonder if I'm going to be challenged here. Yeah. And they're top geezers. I like both of them. Really like them. But again, it's different when you're managing 50 people. Yeah, it's not about completely different. You can be that young kid with your 6-pack, but it's different. You're managing 50 people. Yeah, but you've got people doing it wrong. You've got people doing it lazy. You've got people who haven't got an idea, and you've got people who are absolute beginners. And you've got to get all this going on at once.
But here's the thing, right? And I'm an outsider looking into your thing, right? So it's down to the way you are. People want to come for you, right? A squat and a thruster and a fucking crunch it doesn't matter if I do it or he does it. It's the same fucking thing. Like, let's be honest. The actual class itself there's a guy over in JLT doing a similar format, or a CrossFit box down the road doing a similar format, or I'm doing the same thing up at 24. It's not about the actual worker. It's about the guy leading. They come for your energy, bro. Energy out versus energy in. They feed off you, bro. And that's, the stories you put up on your socials, the way you talk directly at them, that's what they're coming for, bro. So as I sound like I'm, giving him a wristy under the table here, but he does it well, and that's why 55 people turn up every night.
5 nights.
5 nights a week, you know what I mean? So the beers are on him after this podcast.
That's the persistent as well. I mean, you're persistently doing it. Like, I mean,
and then that's tough as well, because, there's to keep that energy going. I've done this now solid for 4 years. But saying that, I've been in this industry, I've been training hard for 30 years. I joined the military in 1990, and I was straight in the deep end, and I saw the best of the best, Yeah. So that as a 16-year-old, I didn't even have pubes. And I'm looking at the best of the best, and so it was all going in the energy tank right then.
Yeah.
And when I joined up, I was naive, I was young. These guys had just come back from the first Gulf War. Before that, they were in Northern Ireland. Before that, some of my sergeants who taught me were in the Falklands War.
Yeah.
So it was all that sort of me looking up to these people at such a young age. But I always loved fitness because I didn't do well at school. So it's all the perfect mechanics, to be honest, to make me who I am today.
Yep.
And I won't settle for any bullshit because they didn't settle for it. So it's just in me to teach like that.
That's it. That's good.
Do you find it hard? I mean, you don't find it hard, do you?
No, I don't.
No.
It's
But it comes natural,
That's
right?
why it's
Just
that's
natural.
why you're still here in the industry. Cause it's just natural
Absolutely. But I think also too, like, you could probably vouch for this, is that upbringings have a massive thing to do with how we portray ourselves. Like, I don't, like, if someone's late to a group class or a session, it ain't that's okay, we'll start. It's a fucking talking to. Like, why are you wasting my time by wasting yours? Like, and people, I actually had it this week. One of the members of another trainer, lovely lady, she goes, why are you always angry on this gym floor? I said, I'm not, but I'm not prepared to let these people just be average people. I want, like, as a coach, I want to find the best out of every person and their potential. Right? That's why I do it. I don't know why anyone else does it, but that's up to them. But I want to find the potential that your average 40-year-old mum of 3 can walk in the gym and walk out after and go, fuck, I did something today that I didn't think I'd be able to do, right? Yeah. And that's why I still do this job, right? There's, like we all said, there's hardships. We don't get paid on time. Sometimes members drop off or leave. So our money's not consistent in this industry. It's a fucking hard industry, right? So you got to be waking up for a reason every morning to do it. And that's definitely why I do it, bro. It's not about the pay, because
That's probably why a lot of people stuff it up when they look at persistence. Like, Frank, you've been at, like, 4 years, you said you've been in this for 55, and people month to month out, they're paying.
Yeah, we started off at, there was 8, and now there's over 50,
Yeah, but so it's that persistency of day in, day out, delivering the session at the right, and, like, it's just like, a lot of people keep stuffing it up where I see that they're there for the money. Yeah. That's what they're thinking about, the coin at the end of the day, and they're not focused on the service, the self, the delivery, not focused about just the people or the clientele.
Absolutely.
And that's where they always fall apart.
How easy, like 4 years ago, when those 8 people would come and on a Tuesday night it's down to 5, or how easy could you, if you had a different personality, gone, fucking bin this, I can get one-on-one here and make probably $3,500 from this, rather than whatever that. It could have been very easy for you to do. And a lot of people would have gone, fuck this, I'm not into this. 5 people, waste of time. But like you said, it's perseverance, it's persistence, it's showing up so they show up, you know what I mean? And like you said, you've got to show up every night with a certain type of energy.
Just going back to my PTs though, like last year I was 15-hour days back to back for Jan through till October, and in October everyone left. It was as if they all called each other. Conspiracy. And I lost all my PT. So for 2 months I was like, okay. Now fortunately, I had my boot camp to fall back on. But what I'm saying now to anyone who is a young PT, like, prepare. Some months everyone just disappears, and that's the way it is.
People got to expect that though. I mean, I don't get it why people don't expect people to leave. That I think as a you should expect them to leave. They're going to leave. Don't think last forever, and
Correct.
they're going to hang around here. And that's why I think some people make mistakes.
I feel like you see it, like, every summer comes around and you see PTs or boot camps, and it's like they didn't go, let's go plan A, B, C or D, and they've gone just plan A. We'll run these camps till they don't run anymore, then think about what happens after. Like, for me, I'm always thinking, I have to be thinking 5-6 steps ahead of what's actually happening right now. Because this is my main stream of revenue. Unfortunately, fortunately and unfortunately sometimes, because you go, like you said, months can be good and you're booming, and then summer comes and everyone fucks off, or something like this fucking virus happens and people shit it and they don't want to be in the gym. You've got to make precautions. You've got to take action, and I can't afford to just go, fuck it, I'm going to have a week off because the school's all right. I can't do that. Yeah. I'm not sure about you guys, but you know what I mean? Like, my landlord's going to come knocking and go, get the fuck out of this joint because someone else is waiting, you know what I mean? So it is a thing where, you know, persistence is high. I think your energy that you're putting out is 100% factor in being a good trainer and coach. Knowledge is great, okay? But I and you have met, tell me you haven't met guys on the gym floor who are passionate about what they do in terms of they're just a member of the gym, but they've gone through and read all the magazines and they've got themselves a good knowledge bank. They might not be qualified. Now, as a business owner, I would, honestly, this is no bullshit, I would sit down 2 guys, and this guy's got a passion for the industry, no qualifications, and he does all his research because he's into it, right? It's like being a good rugby player. You look at all your you know, players past, present, you study their moves, blah, blah, blah. Or you've got a guy qualified who just went through uni 4 years or whatever and doesn't really know fuck all still. Book smart, but not sort of street smart, if that makes sense. Yeah. Who would you hire? I know I'd go with the guy who reads the magazines, bro.
Yeah, PT, it's more motivation than education.
Yeah.
Most clients, as you said, they're just out of shape. So you can have all the knowledge in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that you shouldn't have knowledge and qualifications. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you're beginning and you're struggling, you've got to put more into you and delivering the training as opposed to going out and getting all these qualifications. That's not going to get
absolutely. But again, like over your career till now, how much knowledge have you acquired while on the job?
Well, mine's kind of backward. I had a ton of qualifications in the military.
Yeah.
And I've done literally a handful of courses in the last 15 years since I've been out. You know, the best one actually, very beneficial, was Charles Poliquin, the late Charles Poliquin. It was biosignature in men's course. The knowledge on that guy. He's actually very arrogant as well, which I actually like because it makes him more of a character. And I flew back to London to do my biosignature course. Apart from that, I've literally done 3 or 4 more courses in the last 15 years.
That's the
basics of the basics.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Like, I mean, I've done it. I've gone and sat in courses. I've done courses similar to what Franky's done, and
the thing is with me is I go on them. If I put my time and money into a course, I want to be blown away, and I'm never blown away.
Right, but here's the thing:
I follow so many of these Insta dudes in the US, and I'm just, you know, and I've never seen it. Someone going, wow. Yeah. Wow, I'm going to implement that into my training schedule. You know, I don't, you know, I'm not, that's not me gobbing off now saying I know everything. I don't know everything. But even when I look at the biggest influence in the world, I never, ever, ever go, wow, I need to do that. I haven't seen that before. Never.
I'm someone who questions everything, unfortunately. And something like, you know, the Poliquin course, you know, I did it and...
Which one did you do?
Biosig, right?
Where did you do it?
I did it back home in Australia.
Was it with Charles as well?
Yeah.
It's big in Oz, wasn't it?
Yeah, huge, right? So, huge in Australia. But then I look at it after and I went, I used it for about 1.5 to 2 years, and then it didn't relate. Again, this is me as a young trainer trying to add to my portfolio of things to upsell myself to my members, right? Mm-hmm. So that's why I thought that was now I don't even use the fucking thing, right? Like at all. Like, because it went against everything me as a person ethically. The training stimulus was amazing, don't get me wrong, fucking amazing. But why now I would never even pull out the calipers to a member unless they asked, unless they were doing it for a reason, because it went against everything I always sort of thought anyway, right? Like, you got to change this before this changes, right? And then if I'm fucking sticking the calipers on you and your mind is fucked already, then we're setting us a disaster.
His knowledge is for pro athletes.
Yeah.
And if Sharon and Tim and Susie have gone out to a brunch at the week and got smashed, then all that information isn't going to do anything. Again, it's back to your personality. Have the honest conversation with them. So you went out and got smashed at the weekend. You know, once every 2 months, fine. But if you're doing it weekend on, weekend off, you ain't going to get any results.
Absolutely. Right. Now, let me ask you how important this next one is we've touched on having, that profile, you being the way you are with your clients, and that's what brings in members and keeps you going through the last 15 years, etc. Now, how important is having a relevance with your members? Like you just said, the 3 girls go on brunch tomorrow. They come back on Sunday. Can they be honest with you and say, "Oh, we had the fucking best time. We, got liquored up, this, that, the other."
Yeah, I tell them on day one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on a journey now.
Yeah.
Okay. There will be times when you slip up. I need to know when you do slip up.
Yeah.
You're not a kid. I'm not a kid.
Yeah.
Don't waste my time, your money.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. Yeah. Because we'll get to the end goal quicker.
Yeah.
And I know no one's perfect, and I say I'm not perfect, and I certainly know you're not perfect.
Exactly.
So what I do actually, the first 1 to 2 weeks, all my new clients, they send me a picture of their food.
Yep.
And I say it again, if you lie, then wasting my time and your money.
Yeah.
So just be honest, because there will be times, and you nod with them when you say there will be times when you go crazy, have cheat meals the whole weekend, get smashed, blah, blah, blah. Just tell me.
Oh, absolutely.
And work in that, and just keep reminding them of that every few weeks, because, we're all human.
Look, I think for me, why I have got the community that I have around Streetwise is because I have the young ones, I have the 30 plus, I have the mums and dads. And we all train together, like on a Friday morning. It's a big group session. All the members get it for free and whatnot. I do that just off my own back. But then we're able to, I'll say, guys, I'm off to Cove tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. for anyone who wants to join. You've done it. I've seen you out a few times with your members. We have the same likes and dislikes, and I try to build that through the fitness community, because at the end of the day, none of us are pro athletes. Like you just said, we're going to fall off the wagon at some stage, but also want these guys to think that they can rely on me as a shoulder when they do fall off the wagon. Because as a trainer, I can tell you right now, I've fallen off the wagon so many times. Throughout a year, I can have like 4 good months of training and then a month of just garbage training, because I can't be fucked, right? Like, straight up. It's hard mentally to get up sometimes and go, I've got to fucking support you guys plus myself. But do you think, or this is a good platform for young trainers to drive through? I'm not saying go and drinking with your members and stuff like that, not at all, but having the similarities where you can understand, Cheryl, when she comes in and says, the kids have been fucking assholes at home, you've got to be able to read people the right way to push them the right way. Would that be fair to say?
Be honest.
Yeah.
For me, that's the only thing that keeps coming out. That if you're going to stay in this industry, you just got to be honest with, first of all, yourself and them as well. Like, I know a lot of trainers go out there and say, like, oh yeah, if you do fall off the wagon, tell me. But what they haven't been able to establish is an honest relationship with the person. I mean, they're only going to tell you if they're fucked up. If there's a good relationship between you and that person, obviously going back to the personality side of things like that. That's where I think a lot of trainers end up, clients leave them because, one, they're not honest, or two, they haven't set their kind of precedents at the start of the side when they met the person in the first place. But then, I think it's probably the biggest lesson that most people need to learn, that it's not about the two guys that show up with a great video or anything like that and say we're going to do this. It's about what happens once they're there. Well,
I think for me, the turnaround within the last, say, 3 or 4 years, I've had more success now in the last 4 years of my career because I was able to now have that simulation with my clients. We went out and had a beer, and sometimes you run into your members and you can sit. I don't need to be that trainer anymore where I have to hide because I'm having a shit meal.
But that's the problem. People shouldn't have been like that.
No,
in the first
exactly.
place.
But
that is the problem.
100%, I agree.
Most people making problems.
But being young in an industry where you think you need to look a certain way and act a certain way, it's hard to get that around your head.
We'll get this right now. You don't fucking need to do that.
Absolutely.
Because you're absolutely detrimental to your own business when you do bullshit like that. I mean, how many Instagrammers and stuff like that you see that they pretend they're this and they're smoking around the corner, or something like that. They don't smoke, but then they smoke or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, look, it's all their own, but that's what the biggest killer of most of these trainers is. They think they come in, they have to put the stigma of, I've got a six-pack, I've got a real tight butt or whatever, and they'll say, you can do it like me. But then these guys are starving themselves with the smoking to get to where they need to, or they use steroids or whatever they're using. And that's where there's no relationship between them and the client, whether it become group training, whether dancing, or with PTing. Yeah. And that's where there's no persistence or longevity for them in the industry. Absolutely. So they've got to keep trying to reinvent themselves, and they can't just remain themselves over a period of time. Like, I haven't fucking changed in 20 years in the industry. I mean, still do the same shit. And like as far as personality, I still talk to people the same way from when I first came into the industry. I'm still here.
So I respect that about both of you, because I think both of you have been like that. Where I wasn't, I came into an industry where I thought I needed to be a certain way to be successful. So I felt off the wagon hard. It's on, I've spoke about this before in another podcast, but it took me probably just after 30 years old to go, you don't need, because I was hanging around with people that were like this. So I became that person as well. So, I learned the hard way, but that's what I see on most gym floors now with this 20 plus category of trainers, female, male, is that they all look the fucking same. It's like the conveyor belt just dropped them off and went, yep, go and be a trainer now. There's no personalities behind them. They look great. Don't get me wrong. I respect what they do. They look amazing. They train hard, but wet blankets, you know what I mean? And that's why the two of you are still around and doing your thing and still respected in an industry that has so many people in Dubai that are doing it. Your names come up still at the forefront, and it's your personalities that have done that achieved that.
Do you think there's a problem? Like, one thing for me, see, like, it comes from the institutes and stuff like that, or two sides. One comes from institutions where they saying, like, they're trying to get people. Some people go into the courses, there's facilitator there, she might actually be a nutritionist or whatever, and students are coming in and they're trying to bring their healthy snacks or their protein shakes, but they've never fucking had a protein shake or a healthy snack in their life, and now all of a sudden they're trying to impress other people. So it happens right there from the start. Or the Instagrammers, it's all about highlight reel in the first place. I don't know how many countless people I've seen on a photo that portray themselves as looking really great, and then I know just around the corner their personality completely changes, or their way they live is completely different to what is happening, right? So again, it's just those are your short-term guys. Look, and to us, I don't even give a damn if that's what you want. If you want to be here for a short term, if you want to be here 1, 2, 3 years, there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's if you're looking for a long-term career, if you want to keep, like, I fucking love my lifestyle, to be honest, and it's just, so it's easy for me to maintain it. But I think if someone's looking to maintain a longevity career in this, they need to be honest up front. And I don't know how to get that through to someone that's, like you said before, got an ego. That's got I don't know if you guys know how you'd tell someone, be honest, be straight up from the start.
Just give you, I think, you write out a checklist and you keep honestly every month, having a look, and am I doing this, and am I doing this? Am I honestly doing this? Am I telling them that? And for yourself as well, for your own standards, keeping yourself fit and in shape, same thing. So, because it's easy just to slide off. Life can get boring and monotonous. So, just hold yourself accountable, and that you're doing all the right things, but ride the storm when it's a bit rough,
Absolutely. I would say, guys, keep your life simple, especially if you're in the industry. Keep it simple. The whole cliche of be yourself and you're going to be happy. You don't need to make people like you and transform and be a chameleon. Like Frankie and the boys said, when the tough times come, just keep going, because you want to come out the other side. That's
freelancing. Yeah. That's what it's about. It's ride the storm.
Absolutely,
because expect it to come too. Like, it's going to happen. Like, don't. If you're one of those idiots that think, oh, that's not going to happen to me, whether you already shot yourself in the face to start with. It's going to come. There's going to be down periods, and what they don't teach you in courses is that you need to save for a rainy day kind of thing. That the whole mentality needs to be put out there. So,
and be happy in the job. You've got a very good job. Don't think that you're going to escalate up to some sort of CEO of a big gym. That's not it. You're doing freelancing. It's a relaxed lifestyle. Okay, so keep your ego in check. Like I said, when I first started this, I struggled. I'd come from the Grenadier Guards, where I'd take 800 soldiers across the Great Park of Windsor. I'd see the Queen, bring 800 people to attention, ask her to carry on, and your ego then thinks you're this person. And then I'm stood in a little concrete gym and going, I'm just telling someone to do push-ups. But it's not about that. You have a stress-free job. You have a job that you like doing. So always keep your ego in check, Like I said before off air, you know, you go work in a corporate for 2 years, all right? And yes, sir, no, sir, and have to wear a suit, and, you know, you have a great job, so respect it, you know? Don't ever think your ego that you're just sat here. And if you are just counting push-ups and you're not doing more of that as the whole job as a whole, then you're not doing enough. Yeah. And that's why you're bored.
And for the members and potential members out there and friends and family and stuff watching this, like, you guys may think that we have this awesome lifestyle and whatnot, whatever. But look, the boys have worked their asses off for that lifestyle and to keep themselves happy, right? So success is an individual's practice, right? So you don't need to be or prove your success to anybody else. If you're successful, it's in your own right. So forget all that, like you were just touching on. You don't need to go and prove your success to anybody else in the industry. You know, if you've
don't compare.
If you've got 5 clients or 4 clients and that's all you've got, look after those 4 clients, and in return they will look after you. I promise you, that's how it works, because it becomes family, it becomes community, and you know there are still good people out there. And if members are watching, these young PTs and even old PTs, guys, have the respect of knowing what this person's doing for you. You know, they're turning up. You know, should be turning up, 20, 30 minutes before you're at the gym in the morning to program you and set everything up. So at least do the decency by paying on time or letting these PTs know or coaches know that you are going to be leaving for a certain reason. Don't just drop it on these guys. This is bread and butter for these young guys and girls in this industry. So remember that, because I think a lot of people forget that this is what we do for a living. They don't come and go. At least be respectful enough to go, I accept what you do for me. You do a lot for me in terms of what that is, but here's my respect to you, and say, look, I will be leaving for 6 weeks and I can't train. Don't drop it on me at the end of a membership or a package.
I've got a story happened last week. Yeah. It kind of takes the piss a bit, but and this is a client I've known for 14 years. She's actually a friend, and she sent me a text saying, really busy work at the minute, here's the number of my assistant, go drop the money back off to her. And
for pending remaining sessions.
Yes.
Fuck you. Yeah.
So prepare for this as well. And now she's a friend as well.
Yeah. No, it happens. Like I think we've all had it.
Let me just stop what I'm doing and go run off to find your assistant to give the money back because you now can't train anymore.
No, I think, and this is one thing that, if you're thinking about getting into the industry, this happens. None of us get paid on time, or, there's going to be holidays and people go missing, or people will come back and argue, I paid you last month, so I still have, 6 sessions left. Hang on, love, you haven't been to the gym for 1 month. So would you go to your local shop and go, I took water and I paid for it, but can I get 2 more bottles back? Like, that's not how it works. Like, we survive on this, money that you guys pay us, and, we've got rent, we've got bills to pay just like you guys. So,
and I have another situation, also be careful of this. In January, a couple came up to me and they gave me $8,000. I won't tell you how many sessions, but what I'm saying is about a lump sum.
Yeah.
Before you take that lump sum for something like that, it's a lot of money. Sit down and say, right, we need to talk about a few parameters about this.
Yes.
Because what's happened now, they're both sick.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them for a long time.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen? They come back in 6 months to say they want to start training, and then I'm like, well, you gave them the money in January.
Yes.
So have some, not saying that you don't, but have conversations
Agree.
about this.
You got to have flexibility in the way you set things up, but 100%. Do yourself a favour and get guidelines for whatever works for you, and make sure these people understand those guidelines before you take money, because I promise you, when money's exchanged, people can turn, and people usually do. We hear horror stories all the time in this industry regards to money and sessions and this, that, the other. So have your guidelines. If they can't understand it, then maybe don't train them. Do yourself a favour and save yourself a headache. Any last parting comments for our young PTs and aspiring fitness enthusiasts out there?
Just I look forward to you guys making mistakes. We've seen this stuff and we'll keep saying this stuff. At the end of the day, you're going to make your own choices, and you will do your do. And you will make mistakes. Don't make the dumb mistakes. It's so hard. We probably heard this when we were younger as well. Yep. And there's the advice I didn't take on. Went, no, damn, I wish I took it on. I'm sure it's going to have the same thing here. So, but I mean,
actually, that's a good point. now knowing what you know, like I know for myself, I do a lot of research when I'm at home in the evening, and this is my sort of homework. I'll get on YouTube and look at these past successful trainers and coaches, and they've some of them got like how they've like similar to this podcast of what they went through in their industries and how they got better, because you can only learn from people's mistakes, right, or your own mistakes. Do you wish as a younger trainer that you did have a mentor or mentors in front of you to sort of learn from? Because I was led blindly through the Dubai industry, so I didn't really have people to look up to in the Dubai industry. Do you guys wish that there was something like that, or maybe you did have that in the industry?
Like I said, you take the rough with the smooth. There's a lot of bonus of this job, and just as long as you're honest that you're doing your best, then it's not perfect.
Yeah.
So just start with what tools you've got, but just always be honest with yourself that you're doing the best you can. If you're not getting referrals, then you are doing something wrong.
Yeah.
You should be getting referrals.
Absolutely, agreed.
So there's another point as well.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So we've got 10 minutes left. I want to fully change the subject. So look, I hope that helped anyone watching regarding coming into the industry as a trainer, a future member, a client, whatever. Look the boys up. They do their thing. I do my thing. We're all different in terms of what we do, but personalities are very black and white, and I think that's what has got us to where we're at now. So, look, let's change the dynamic and the subject altogether. I wanted to touch on. I'm a massive fight fan. I love watching all aspects of fighting. Boxing's my thing. I love MMA, but this is how I know this bloke as well. You're a local referee on the scene?
Yep.
Okay, so he does a lot of the combat events here when they're up. I'm a boxing coach and have been a boxing coach for the last, say, 13 years that I've lived here. What do you think, because you're one of the guys involved in it, how can we get this sport in this region thriving? Because it is starting to thrive. It really is.
I think it
really
is thriving.
It really is. But in terms of, when I say thriving, the outside audience looking in, because every fight event we go to, we all see the same fucking heads, same fighters, same coaches, but not really the outside public looking in. So, last 10 minutes, let's have a chat on how we can...
First of all, I like the, even though I think MMA is the best, it's been great to see in the TK fight shows. 5, 6, 7 years ago, there was literally 1 or 2 boxing fights and it was all MMA.
Yep.
And now there's more boxing.
More boxing fights, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's just because what's been going on recently, in the last 5 years, boxing's making a comeback.
Yep.
And it's good to see. 2 completely different sports. I've been a referee for boxing for 19 years and MMA just 5. I prefer the MMA because there's just no hiding.
Yeah. Well, you've had a couple of bouts yourself, right? Yeah.
I just MMA.
Yeah.
I just had 1.
Yeah.
Boxing in the military.
Yeah.
It's more like milling.
Yeah.
It's just when you've got 800 soldiers behind you and the guy opposite you is from another regiment.
Yeah.
Honestly, you just go in there. You just want to kill the guy. You don't think at all about what boxing is, which is just smart moving.
Yeah. Of course.
It would help probably in MMA, but no. Yeah. So on DFC 1, I fought an Iranian guy in the cage. And I didn't know that he was, because when I YouTubed him, his last fight, he was stand-up.
Right.
He was just standing up.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was a black belt in judo,
which
is the best thing, right? He picks someone and
Hip
throws him
throw
on
straight
their
over
head.
the fucking cage, yeah.
So this guy keeps throwing me on my head, and I am gassed out. I mean, completely it's like doing burpees with 20 kilo weights in either hand. You're just like, well, where did all the training go?
This is the thing. I was there at that fight. I was there.
It's horrendous.
And this dude is fit, man. Like, back in the day was a monster cardio-wise, right?
Yeah. So I used to do 10K in 32 minutes.
But how different is the cardio when someone's attacking you, trying to turn the fucking lights out?
First of all, what no one understands is, it doesn't matter how hard your WOD is, the peer pressure of getting in there is the adrenaline dump.
Yeah.
So all your mates are sat around these tables, and before you even start, you're like that. You go, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
And then as soon as you get suplexed, then caught in the choke, and you stand back up and you're going, I've got nothing left. It's horrendous, and there's still another couple of rounds to go. Okay. Yeah. So that's what you've got to do. You've got to get in there and do this type of thing.
Absolutely.
Went to a decision, and I lost the decision, but I was happy with it because, just to get through 3 rounds in MMA, is...
That's huge, man. That's huge. And it's a test of character, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying everyone needs to have a fight to test their character, but fuck, like even sparring in a gym controlled format is like, if you've never done it and you go through the proper training and get there, I think there's nothing like it, because like you said, it's 1 versus 1 and there's nowhere else, or no one else can save your ass.
Nothing more humbling and keep your
Absolutely.
ego in check than just have a little sparring session.
Absolutely.
Both boxing or grappling.
Yeah.
It's good for you. You should do it.
G, you ever been in the ring?
Oh, I'm making a couple of training sessions.
Yeah.
I just got knocked around a lot.
Yeah. But look, I think that's good for
Holland.
character, man. Honestly,
it's good fun, yeah.
I've got in the
Yeah.
ring
I
with
enjoyed
some guys who are class, and you get a fucking hiding. But
Yeah.
you walk out and you go, for my character, and like you said, it's humbling. And you go, shit, there are legit killers on this planet walking around.
And I know when I did that MMA fight, I was 38 as well.
There you go. So age is not a factor for anyone thinking that out there.
So you know, it's you quickly say to yourself when you start losing, why am I even in here? You know,
Yeah.
Fair enough. If you're a kid, and at TK we see all this upcoming talent. It's brilliant.
Yep.
Especially the young Dagestan and Chechenian guys.
They're-
You can see it in their eyes. They're just like, this is the next 30 years for me.
Listen,
Nothing's gonna stop
one
me.
walked past
And
me
it's-
last Thursday. I was at the Jumeirah Beach Hotel. He walked past, Dagestani dude, bro. Ears curled over, forearms like this.
Yeah.
He looked legit like a flat out killer. And he just had to tell he was going to the pool. And the crew that I was with was here for the boxing last Friday. They were fighting from Australia. So even the young dude who was the fighter goes, is that one of Khabib's boys? And I said, they probably know each other, no doubt, because they had the shirt on and
Same
the
thing.
Team Russia and all that shit. So, but I think what's happening now, like you said, it's healthy for the sport. Even the crossover sort of fantasy fights that they've done in the past.
And actually, the question is, it is, the sport is evolving.
Yeah.
All fight sports are evolving in the region. It's great to see.
Yeah.
Really, really
Absolutely.
is. I've seen kids now do their first fight at like 6, 7, 8 years old, and now they're young teenagers and they're still doing it. That makes the job very satisfying.
Well, it makes the job satisfying, but it also, I know when we were growing up, it's character building. These kids today, unfortunately, like I was watching it just in the gym this morning, on their iPads, curled over, rubbish posture, and don't talk to each other. There's 7 of them, all on their iPads. So I think it's a good character. Even if you're going to put your kids into a class, whether it's the basics, karate, taekwondo, whatever, get them into that format
100%.
that builds
100%.
character, that they have someone to answer to, because it becomes a discipline thing, you know what I mean? So,
There's the kids now, I don't have kids, but I can see what's happening. There's too many easy ways to hide and bluff and fake.
Yeah, absolutely,
right?
yeah.
When you do mixed martial arts, whether it is boxing or it's, like you said, taekwondo, the old school stuff, it keeps you in check.
Absolutely.
And if you are a parent, do it this week. Again, the virus.
Unfortunately,
Get them into mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
Do it.
Definitely keep that in mind. I've got so many mums and dads who toy with it. We've got the boxing classes and that run at the gym, and they're like, oh, I'd love to get mine. Well, send them over. Like, they ain't gonna. It's not like they're gonna get hurt or anything like that. It's all controlled, and they learn from A to Z. You're not getting none of these classes that I know out here are sort of none of the good ones do things like cowboys. So your kids will be in good hands, and they'll teach them the proper way. And look, once the app's up at Find Fit People, it is up now. It's live, but once we do the JV, we'll be starting to put these classes and stuff, so you can find them on the app within the next couple of months. So hopefully I can get my stuff up there as well. Boys, thanks for joining me. It's been a good one. Cheers, brother.
Sure.
Thanks for tuning into the One Try podcast. Hope your Thursday's been going well, and enjoy the weekend, guys. Peace.
Cheers.